This is the story of how Much Afraid escaped her fearing relatives and went with the shepherd to the high places where perfect love casts out all fear. Having been in the service of the chief shepherd for several years, Much Afraid desired intensely to please him and was happy in most ways. She was, however, shamefully conscious of two things: the unsightly blemish of a crooked mouth and feet so twisted that they often caused her to limp and stumble as she went about her work. As plaguing as these were, there was an even greater trouble in her life. She was a member of the Fearing family. Like most other families in the Valley of Humiliation, the Fearings hated the chief shepherd, and it was a great offense that one of their own should have entered into his service. Consequently, they did all they could, both by threats and persuasions, to get her out of his employment. Finally, they laid before her the family dictum that she must immediately marry her cousin, Craven Fear, and settle down respectably among her own people. If she refused, they threatened to use force and compel her. As was her habit, every morning and evening she hurried off to the watering places on the outskirts of the village to meet with the shepherd. She was sure that he would help her and not permit her relatives to kidnap her and force her against her will into the dreadful slavery of marriage with Craven Fear.
But the thought of having to be Mrs. Craven Fear for the rest of my life is more than I can bear.
Don't be afraid. You are in my service, and if you will trust me, they will not be able to force you against your will into any family alliance.
But they're determined to get me into their power. I shall never dare venture outside my cottage for fear of being kidnapped. Oh, if only I could escape this valley of humiliation altogether and go to the high places.
I have waited a long time to hear you make that suggestion, Much Afraid. That would indeed be best for you.
Me? Go to the high places?
In my father's kingdom, the realm of love, no fears of any kind are permitted. I will very willingly take you there.
Oh, if only I could! But it isn't possible. Those mountains are so steep and dangerous. I can never get up there. I am too lame.
It is quite true that the way up to the high places is both difficult and dangerous. It has to be, so that nothing which is an enemy of love can make the ascent and invade the kingdom.
I have heard that only the deer can move on the mountain safely.
Nothing blemished or in any way imperfect is allowed there, and the inhabitants do need hinds feet. I have them myself, but Much Afraid, I can make yours like hinds feet also.
Make my... But how is that possible? And what would the inhabitants of the kingdom of love say to the presence of a wretched little cripple, if nothing blemished may dwell there?
You would have to be changed, but if you are willing to go with me, I promise to help you develop hinds feet.
I am willing.
Not only must you have hinds feet, you must also receive a new name, for it would be as impossible for Much Afraid to enter the kingdom as any other member of the Fearing family. Are you willing to be made like the new name which you will receive?
Yes, I am.
There is one thing more, the most important of all. No one is allowed in my Father's kingdom unless the flower of love is already blooming in their heart. Has love been planted in your heart, much afraid?
I think what I see reflected in your eyes growing there is a great longing to experience the joy of natural human love and to learn to love one person who will love me in return. But perhaps that is not the love of which you are speaking. At least, it's nothing like the love I see in you.
Then, will you let me plant it there now?
I'm afraid. I could never dare to love unless I was sure of being loved in return. If I let you plant it, will you promise me that I shall be loved in return? I can never bear it otherwise.
Yes, I promise that when love is ready to flower in your heart and you are ready to change your name, you will be loved in return.
Please, plant it in my heart now.
Here is the seed of love.
Oh! That seed looks very sharp. Won't it hurt when you put it into my heart?
It slips in very quickly, but love and pain go together. If you would know love, you must know pain. You are very much afraid of pain, are you not?
Yes, very much afraid.
But it is so happy to love.
When the seed of love is ready to bloom, you will be loved in return. You may plant the seed of love in my heart.
Now you will be able to go with me to the high places.
Oh, thank you! Thank you! In all the world, there is no one as good and patient as you are!
I am even more glad than you. Now you may go home and make preparations. I cannot give you an exact time when we will start for the mountains, but you must be ready whenever I come to your cottage, singing one of my special songs. When you hear it, come at once to this place, but do not tell anyone, for a journey to the high places needs to be a secret matter.
The next day, Much Afraid waited anxiously in her cottage for the shepherd's signal.
Oh, probably sometime today, I am to start to the high places with the shepherd. Oh, I'm afraid it will never happen.
So, we are to be married, eh, little cousin? What do you think of that?
Relax! Relax, Much Afraid. We only come with the kindest and friendliest intentions. Sit there. Now I understand you have some objection to our proposed marriage. Your Aunt Dismal Forebodings has something to say about all this.
Thank you, Lord Fairy. I want to take this opportunity to quietly talk over your fears and see if we can't put them to rest. It seems to me perfectly suitable and attractive match in every way. There must be some extraordinary misconception in your mind, which a little understanding talk together will set right.
It's true that Craven isn't the most handsome prince
much afraid. Certainly, the responsibilities
And joys.
Thank you, bitterness. I can do without your help. Married life would quickly affect a great transformation in him. Right, pride.
Allow yourself, for just a moment, much afraid, to consider the adulation, the celebration, and the exaltation that will be yours as you bring about this reformation we all so eagerly wish to see. The glory will go to you alone.
Wait, poor little thing. Who else would have her?
With that crooked little mouth and those twisted feet. You ought to be grateful. Really.
The fact is, you cut yourself off from your own family for so long. Even your own Aunt Dismal, who raised you as a daughter. It's quite apparent that you have all kinds of strange notions about our feelings towards you. Dear.
It's only right that you spend a little bit of time with us, much afraid, and provide us the opportunity of proving that you've altogether misjudged and misunderstood us.
Come away with me. Gone are the snows of winter. No more the rains we see. The shoots are on the grapevines. The figs are on the trees. Rise up, my love, my fair one, and come away with me.
Good going, Crave. Now look what you've done. This is what I get for not doing things myself. If you want something done right, let me do it. Let's just tie her up and carry her off to Lord Barring's mansion while she's out.
Brilliant!
Yes!
Just when everyone is returning home from work. We'd never get away with it at this hour.
He's gone. Now bring her over here to the window for some fresh air. When she comes around, we'll wait for darkness to fall, gag her, and carry her off unperceived. Just leave everything to me.
Let's get some refreshment. I need to be revived after a scare like that.
Yeah. Here, take the honey. I don't care about the honey.
Mrs. Dyer! Mrs. Dyer, come and help me! Come quickly, help! All right! You Parker warrior beings are to this house this minute! Out! Everybody! Very well. What if you need? You have only to ring this bell, and the entire Valiant family shall be here to assist you. Oh, whatever shall I do? It's too late to meet the shepherd. He came singing the secret song. He'll think I don't want to go with him to the high places. Supposing he's gone and left me behind. Oh, this throbbing. Why ever did I let him plant the seed of love in my heart? But surely he who knows all about me wouldn't leave me until he was quite sure I meant to refuse him. I will go to the watering place and see if he's waiting for me there. Though there be 100 craven fears lurking in the streets, for the pain in my heart, I must go.
Though it was now in the early morning hours, and yet still dark, Much Afraid limped along, hoping to find her beloved shepherd.
Oh, shepherd, when you said that pain and love go together, how rightly you spoke. Oh, my Lord! Oh, my Lord, take me with you as you said. Don't leave me behind.
I knew you would come, but Much Afraid, did you not hear me when I passed your cottage and called? I wanted to tell you to be ready to start with me this morning at sunrise.
I am here, and I will go with you anywhere.
I will take you across the river to the foot of the mountains myself, so there will be no danger from your enemies. After that, 2 special companions I have chosen will guide and help you on all the steep and difficult places while your feet are still lame. You will accept them with joy and allow them to help you, will you not?
Oh, yes. Of course, I am quite certain that you know best, and that whatever you choose is right. I will accept with joy whatever you decide. I feel as though I shall never be afraid again. I do wish I knew what it was that all the running water sings. It sounds so happy and eager, as if it were repeating to itself over and over some lovely secret message. Tell me, shepherd, do you know what it is that all the running water sings?
Listen.
sweet and flow to the valleys down below. Sweetest urge and sweetest will, let us go down, lower still. Hear the summons fade away, call us to come away. From the heights we leap and flow to the valleys down below, always answering to the call, to the lowest place of all. Sweetest urge and sweetest pain, to go low and rise again.
That is, very strange. Let us go down lower still. The water seems to be singing so gladly. It is hurrying to go down to the lowest places. And yet you are calling me to the highest places.
The high places are the starting places for the journey down to the lowest places in the earth. It is only up on the high places of love that anyone can receive power to pour themselves down to the abandonment of self-giving.
Well, that sounds very mysterious and strange, I think.
As love grows in you, much afraid, you will come to understand many things you never dreamed of before.
Oh, if only you could take me the way to the high places, instead of giving me over to the care of other guides. When I'm with you, I feel strong, and I'm sure that only you can bring me up to the high places.
I could do what you ask, but if I did, you would never develop hinds feet. But if you will climb to the heights with me this once, I promise that afterwards, you will be able to go with me, leaping upon the mountains, and making the ascent and descent in the twinkling of an eye. Here are the two guides which I promised.
Who are they? Will you tell me their names? Why don't they speak? Are they dumb?
No, they are not dumb, but they speak a mountain dialect you have not yet learned, but you will learn as you travel with them. They are good teachers. Indeed, I have few better. As for their names, this is sorrow, and the other is suffering.
I can't go with them. I can't. The way is so steep. Couldn't you have given me joy and peace to strengthen and encourage me? I never thought you would do this to me.
Joy and peace, are those the companions you would choose for yourself? Do you remember your promise to accept the helpers I will give? Will you trust me, much afraid? Or do you wish to turn back to the valley and all your fearing relatives?
Do I wish to turn back? Oh, shepherd, to whom would I go? In all the world I have no one but you. Help me to follow you, even though it seems impossible. And help me to trust you, as much as I long to love you.
Ha ha! Fear not, much afraid, only believe. I promise that you will not be put to shame. Go with sorrow and suffering, and if you cannot welcome them now, when you come to the steep and difficult places where you cannot manage alone, put your hand in theirs. They will take you exactly where I want you to go. My peace I leave with you.
Others have gone this way before me, and they could even sing about it afterwards. Will he who is so strong and gentle be any less faithful and gracious to me, weak and cowardly though I am? The sooner I go with them, the sooner I'll reach the high places. Please lead the way. I will go with you.
The mountains proved steeper than anything Much Afraid had supposed herself capable of tackling. It was not long before she was forced to seek the help of her companions. Each time she shrinkingly took hold of the hand of either sorrow or suffering, a pang went through her. But once their hands were grasped, she found that they had amazing strength to pull or even lift her upwards to places she would have considered utterly impossible to reach. She was just beginning to accept their help with greater willingness, when suddenly one day the path turned a corner. To her amazement and consternation, she saw a great plain spread out beneath them. As far as the eye could see, there seemed to be nothing but desert, with not a tree in sight. To the horror of Much Afraid, her two guides prepared to take the steep path downward.
We mustn't go down there. The shepherd has called me to the high places. We must find a path which goes up, but certainly not down there. I can't go down there. He can never mean that. Never. That path is an absolute contradiction of all he promised. Shepherd! Shepherd! I need you! Come and help me! Shepherd! Shepherd! I don't understand! These guides you gave me say we must go down there, into that wilderness, away from the high places altogether. Tell them that you don't mean that, and show us another way.
That is the path, Much Afraid, and you are to go down there.
No. You said that if I would trust you, you would bring me up to the high places. And that path contradicts all you promised.
No, it is not contradiction, only postponement for the best to become possible.
You mean you want me to go down there into that wilderness, away
much afraid. Do you love me enough to accept the apparent contradiction of the promise and go down into the desert?
I do love you. You know I love you. I will go down, away from the promise, if you wish it. Here, Lord, on this altar is my rebelling will. I will accept and do your will above my own.